Our objective for today, I can factor quadratic trinomials. Notice that that's what we did yesterday, but today is with leading coefficients greater than 1. Let's read it together. 1, 2, 3. I can factor quadratic trinomials with leading coefficients greater than 1. So, if you noticed on last night's homework, those of you that actually did it, you notice that the leading coefficient, the first term, the leading coefficient was an invisible 1, right? And on all of them. Okay? Today we're going to have actual leading coefficients that are not 1. They're greater than 1. It's either 2 or any other number. And there's a different process for that. I mean, we're going to follow the same 6 steps, but for some of them, they're going to need a couple extra steps to do. So I need you guys to focus. We know what quadratic trinomials are. Therefore, we don't need a Freire model. We covered this yesterday. We know that quadratic trinomials are expressions with 3 terms and the highest degree is 2. We covered that, right? Yeah. The steps that we followed yesterday to do our homework. We checked for GCF, first step. From there, we opened 2 parentheses, factored the first term. From there, we did a diamond, which is power ranges, right? Then from there, you write your 2 factors, and then you check. Are we there? All right, so this is where it takes us for today. Example 1A. Copy this, please. Or example 1. It says, factor 2x squared plus 12x plus 10. Check your answer. Copy that down, please. Yes. As soon as you copy it, pens down. Okay, I need your focus. Yeah, take it with you. I need your focus for this one, please. This is the very first one, and I just want to make sure that you understand what we're doing. Writing pencils down. You'll finish copying right now. Here it goes. Guys, stay focused, please. Oh, my goodness. Here it goes. Step 1. I'm going to scan for GCF. One number divides the first, second, and last term. I say it's 2. Is there a variable in each of the terms? No, therefore it's only 2. I open a parenthesis. Let's see, 2 divided by 2 is 1. 1 times x squared, we're left with x squared. Plus 12x divided by 2, that's 6x. 10 divided by 2, that's 5. And look at this. Do we know how to do these, factor these? Yes. Pens down, you're still paying attention. So from here, check this out. I'm going to focus on these. I open 2 parentheses. I know I need to factor the first term. From there, open my power equals. My middle term is 6. That's my sum. My product is 5. So what factors of 5 add up to 6? 1 times 5. So 1 and 5. However, check this out. This is where it changes just a tiny bit. Focus, please. In the past, we only had 2 factors, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Today, we actually got our GCF factored out first. Now, from now on, we're going to treat the GCF like one of your friends. Now, check this out. Let me give you a situation. Here are you with your group of friends. Here you are. You're gathered together. But then there's always that one friend that comes along at the end of the room like, oh my goodness, here they come. Right? And here they come. You know what I'm saying? And then you're like, oh, I'll tell you guys later. Here comes so-and-so, right? You're saying, wait a minute, I don't have any of those. Then maybe that's you. No? Never mind. So guess what? So when we get our factors, we cannot leave this one behind because here they come. And now these 3 are my factors. We need to include the GCF factors. Copy that, please. Yeah, that's it. You just need to bring it down to make sure you put it together with the other factors. Basically the same, but one more step for these. So copy that, please. So let's go through our steps. Our steps were step 1, GCF. Did we find that? Yes. Step 2, open 2 parentheses. Did we do that? Yes. Step 3, factor the first term. Did we do that? Yes. Step 4, and then we factor the last 2 terms? Yes. Step 5, we write our factors, but this time we included the GCF. Are we there? Yes. And step 6, we need to check. So then I want you to write check. We're going to use the area model. Here it goes. I write my first one, x plus 1, draw your line across. Then x plus 5, draw your line down. So let's multiply. Let's see. X times x, that's x squared. X times 5, that's 5x. Next, 1 times x, that's 1x. 1 times 5, that's 5. So I'm going to write my trinomial. I got, let's see, x squared. Can I combine like terms here? 5x plus 1x, that's 6x plus 5. Am I done? No, because guess who's coming? That friend, right? Here they come. Remember, like, all right, I'll tell you later, I guess. There it is. So there's a 2. So we need to distribute the 2 at the end. What is 2 times x squared? That's 2x squared. What is 2 times 6x? That's 12x. What is 2 times 5? That is 10. Did we end up with what we started? Yes. That's how we check. Copy that, please. Example 2, copy this down. It says, factor negative 3x squared minus 9x minus 6. Check your answer. Once again, you don't need to write the instructions anymore. Just write the trinomial. All right, let's do this one together. Here we go. Step 1, greatest common factor. Let's see. Is there a number that divides the first, the second, and the last term? What is that? 3. However, does each of these terms have a negative? So it's negative 3. We open a parenthesis, and let's see what we have left. Negative 3 divided by negative 3 is 1. 1 times x squared is x squared. Negative 9x divided by negative 3, that's positive 3x. Negative 6 divided by negative 3, that's positive 2. Are we there? Okay. Next, open 2 parentheses. Factor the first term. Step 4, Power Rangers. There we go. What is our middle term? 3. That goes down here. That's our sum. What is our last term? 2. That's our product. What factors of 2 give us a sum of 3? 1 and 2. So this is x plus 1, x plus 2, and here comes a friend. Negative 3. And those are my factors. Check it by yourself, and then I'll go ahead and do that process right after you. Go. You got 30 seconds. Kevin C. Check. Get the area model. My factors are x plus 1 and x plus 2. X times x, that's x squared. X times 2, that's 2x. 1 times x, that's x. 1 times 2 is 2. So I write this, x squared. Can I combine right here? Yes. 2x plus 1x, that's 3x plus 2. And guess what? Here comes a friend. Negative 3. You multiply that in there. Negative 3 times x squared, that's negative 3x squared. Negative 3 times 3x, that's negative 9x. Negative 3 times 2, that's negative 6. Did I end up with the same? Yes. Hands if you got that by yourself. Okay, let's do another one. And before we move on, everybody look up, please. Make a little note for yourself on this one. Put an asterisk, a little heart. There you go. So let's make a note. When the leading coefficient, so I'm just going to write LC, but what does that mean? Leading coefficient. What does that mean? This number, the coefficient of the first term. When the leading coefficient is a negative, comma, factor it out. So from now on, guys, whenever you get any trinomial, even if these two, everybody look up, even if these two aren't negative, but the leading coefficient has a negative, factor it out. And I'll show you how to do that on the next one. But just remember that. From now on, when the leading coefficient is a negative, factor it out. Here we go. Example 3. Copy that one, please. Example 3 is negative 5x squared plus 15x plus 20. Copy that. Let's do this one together. First step. Do we have a GCF?
Yes.
What number is that? 5. So I write it. However, what was our note that we just wrote? If the leading coefficient is a negative, factor it out. So I'm going to write negative right here, which is negative 5. You able to see what I did? Okay, we open a parentheses. And let's see, let's start dividing. Negative 5 divided by negative 5 is positive 1. 1 times x squared is x squared. 15x divided by negative 5, that's what? Negative 3x. Positive 20 divided by negative 5, that's negative 4. Are we there so far? Okay, next step. What do we do from there? Open parentheses. Okay, from there, factor the first term. X times x. Step 4, Power Rangers. There it is. Middle term is negative 3. That's my sum. Negative 4 is my product. There it is. So think about it. What are the factors of 4? 1 times 4 and 2 times 2. So which of those, if we add or subtract, gives us 3? 1 and 4. Now check this out. Since this is a negative, everybody look up. Since the product is negative, that means one of the two has to be a negative. How do we know which one it is? This tells us that the biggest number will be the sign of this number. So the biggest number is 4, and what sign is this? Negative, so this is negative 4. So this becomes x plus 1, x minus 4, and guess what? Don't forget about the friend. Negative 5, and those are my factors. Check it, please. Let's do check. Area model. Nice and straight like mine. X plus 1. X minus 4. X times x, that's x squared. X times negative 4, that's negative 4x. 1 times x is x. 1 times negative 4, that's negative 4. Let's see. X squared. Combine negative 4 plus 1x, that's negative 3x. Bring down the negative 4. However, don't forget about the friend. Here they come. Negative 5. Open parentheses. Let's distribute. Negative 5 times positive 5x squared, that's negative 5x squared. Negative 5 times negative 3, that's positive 15x. Negative 5 times negative 4, that's positive 20. Did we start with that? Yes. Okay, let's move on. Example number 4. Copy that one, please. See if you can do this one by yourself. I'll just help you out with the first step. Yes, the first step. Negative x squared minus 8x minus 12. Okay, let's see. Think about it, everyone. Step 1 is factor the GCF. What is my GCF? Negative 1. Since it has a negative on the leading coefficient, and you can factor out 1 out of each term, that's the only number. Therefore, it's negative 1. So we're left with x squared plus 8x plus 12. See if you can finish that from there. Go. Okay, let's see. From here, open two parentheses, factor the first term, Power Rangers, there it is, we got 8, that's our sum, our product is 12. What factors of 12 as it add up to 8? 2 and 6, so that's x plus 2, x plus 6, don't forget the friend, negative 1, and those are my factors. And when you checked it, let's see, check, we got our area model, x plus 2, x plus 6, this is x squared, 6x, 2x, 12, x squared, combine like terms, this is 8x plus 12, don't forget the friend, negative 1, distribute, and what do we know when we only have a negative in front of the parentheses? It changes everything to their opposite, negative x squared minus 8x minus 12. Hands if you got the same? Yes? Good. Let's move on to the next one. Example 5. Copy that? Example 5. 6x squared plus 11x plus 4. Okay, it goes in the X files over there. All right, so some of you copied this and you were trying to find a GCF and you're like, wait a minute. This one does not have any GCF. The only one is 1, but if I put 1, I still end up with the same thing inside of the parentheses, which there's nothing to do. So now check this out. Pens down, eyes up here. This is one of those special situations that require a couple extra side steps here. So pay attention, please. If there was any time that you were going to pay attention, it's right now. Here it goes. There's no GCF, so therefore I go to step 2. I'm going to open 2 parentheses. 1, 2. However, notice on this one there is a leading coefficient. That means I cannot factor out here. I cannot factor out here. Therefore, I go on to my next step, which is orange. So check this out. This one still goes down here. That's my sum. But pay attention to this. Instead of writing this here, I'm going to do this. Okay, don't write anything down. Pay attention, please. So the middle term goes down here. To get the top, I need to multiply the first, the leading coefficient, times the last term. That's what gives me this. Now I need to start looking for my factors. 1 times 24, 2 times 12, 3 times 8, 4 times 6. So which one of those, pay attention please, adds up to 11, 3, and 8. Okay, so now check this out. This is where it differs from everything else that we've done. I'm not going to write these in here because we haven't factored the first term. Are we there? So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring this down. 6x squared. Now, 3 and 8 gave me 11. Where did 11 come from? The middle term, right? So therefore, instead of 11x, check this out. Look what I'm going to do. I'm going to get these two, and I'm going to write plus 3x plus 8x. Everybody see what I did? Yes. Then I'm going to bring the last term, and I'm going to write plus 4. And look at this. It looks very familiar. Now we can group by 2. GCF is what? 3x. We're left with 2x plus 1. Are we there so far? This one. What's GCF here? 4. And we're left with 2x plus 1. So what's the same here and here? 2x plus 1. And what's left? 3x plus 4. Since it didn't have a GCF, these are my factors. Copy that, please. I know. Copy that. Okay, just to recap. Here it goes. Step 1. Scan for GCF. Was there any GCF? No. That's why if you notice here in the front, there isn't a number by itself or an expression added to it, right? However, we continue with our steps. We open 2 parentheses. But instead of factoring the first term, we couldn't because it has a coefficient. We went straight to Power Rangers, right? Middle term goes down here. The only difference now, we're going to multiply the leading coefficient times the last term to get our product right here. Are we there so far? From there, we find all the factors, and then which one of those factors, pair of factors added to our sum was that. However, instead of writing these in here, we couldn't because we still haven't factored this one. I write my first term. The middle term, 11x, turns into what? 3x plus 8. And then from there, I bring down the last term. And if you don't see it, here, let me point this out like this. That turns into these 2. And then from there, I bring down the 4. And then from there, now I can start factoring by grouping. And we know how to do this, right? And that's how we get GCF is 3x. I end up with 2x plus 1. GCF for this one is 4. That's why I end up with 2x plus 1. These, what's my GCF now again? 2x plus 1. And what's left? 3x plus 4. And you're saying, how do we check this one, Mr. Q? Bless you. Area model. Here we go. What's my first factor? 2x plus 1, draw your line across. What's my second factor? 3x plus 4, draw your line down. And let's see. What is 2x times 3x? 6x squared. 2x times 4, that's 8x. Are we there so far? 1 times 3x, that's 3x. 1 times 4, that's 4. Let's see. This one, there are no other 6x squared. There's no other squares, so I bring that down. Combine like terms. 8 plus 3x, 11x, plus 4. Did I end up with the same? Yes. How we doing? Good? Spare fingers on 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, here we go. Let's go to the next one. Example number 6. Copy this. There it is. Example 6. 3x squared minus 2x minus 8. I'm going to do this one together with you since it's the first one right after the one I explained. Here it goes. Example 6. 3x squared minus 2x minus 8. So let's see. Is there a GCF? No. So we open two parentheses. Can we factor this one out? No. That's why we need to go straight to Power Rangers. Here we go. Middle term is negative 2. That's our sum. Tell your neighbor what goes up here. I heard negative 24. That is correct because we multiplied 3 times negative 8. So what are the factors of 24? 1 times 24, 2 times 12, 3 times 8, 4 times 6. Which one of those pairs adds or subtracts to give me 2? 4 and 6. But now check this out. If this one is a negative, the product, that means one of the two has to be a negative. This one tells you that the biggest number will be the sign of this number. So which my biggest number is 6? What is it? Negative. Therefore, check this out. I bring the first term down. 3x squared. What's my next term? Instead of negative 2x, what do I write?
4x.
Plus 4x. And what else? Minus 6x. If you still get confused, make sure you box this and you point to the middle. So like that, you know, you write those there. What's my last term? I bring that down. Minus 8. Now we can group. My first two terms. What is my GCF for these two? Is there a number? No. How about a variable? X. So that one goes there. What do I have left? 3x plus 4. Are we there so far? Next, I group these two. I include the negative inside. I put a plus. There it is. What is my GCF? 2. But do both have a negative now? Yes. Therefore, it's negative 2. What do I have left? 3x plus 4. And what happens here? Positive and a negative becomes a what? Negative. So let's see. What is the same here and here? 3x plus 4. And what's left? X minus 2. And those are my factors. Let's not check this one so we can move on to another and get some more practice. Are we there so far? Okay. You see what's happening now? Okay. That instead of, if we don't find a GCF, we go straight to here. And instead of writing these in here, you go straight to writing the first and the last term. And the middle term turns into these two. And you use factor by grouping. Yes? Okay, let's move on. Example number 7. Copy this one. See if you can do this one. Actually, no. I'm gonna walk you through this one. But do the first step by yourself. Go. Example 7 says, factor negative 4x squared minus 3x. Negative 4x squared minus 34x minus 42. Copy that. All right, think about it. What number divides here, that divides here, divides here? Don't say it out loud. Speak to yourself. Okay, I kind of heard your brain thinking out loud, and it was 2, right? However, what did we say about the leading coefficient? If the leading coefficient was a negative, factor out a negative. So this is negative 2. So let's see. Negative 4 divided by negative 2 is positive 2x squared. Negative 34x divided by negative 2, that's positive 17x. Negative 42 divided by negative 2, that's positive 21. Are we there so far? So now we end up with this. Okay, since we already have, and you scan it again, can I get another GCF? No, I already got it out, but there's a leading coefficient, so I go straight to open to parentheses. I cannot factor this one out, so I go straight to what? So this one goes right here. That's my sum. This one times this one. You ever see what we're doing? That becomes what? 42. That's my product. So let's list the factors of 42. 1 times 42, 2 times 21, 3 times 14, 4 times nothing. What else? 5, 6 times 7. Which of those adds up to 17? 3 and 14. So now, check this out. Everybody look up. I'm here right now. So I'm going to go and rewrite this first term. That is 2x squared. Well, that's an ugly squared. Here we go. Yes? Leave them on the side. I'll create one for them. Okay, here we go. And instead of the middle term, this one, what are we going to write? Plus 3x plus 14x. Are we there so far? We bring down the last term, which was what? Plus 21. Now can we group? Yes. What's GCF for these first two terms? 1x, and we're left with 2x plus 3. What's GCF for these two? 7, and we're left with 2x plus 3. Therefore, what's the GCF for these two? 2x plus 3. Do you guys see that? Here and here. Okay, and what's left? What's left? X plus 7. Are we done? No, because look at this one now. Everybody look up. Don't forget about the friend. Negative 2. Did everybody see that? On this one, we did have a GCF at the beginning. Don't forget the GCF at the end. Okay? So I'm going to box this one, and these 3 are my factors. All 3 of them. Negative 2 times 2x plus 3 times x plus 7. How we doing? Okay, one more, last one. Here we go. Example 8. Sure, do this one by yourself. There it is. Go. Example 8 says 6x squared plus 11x plus 3. Example 8. Go. Here goes the entire process. Do I have a GCF? No. Open to parentheses. I cannot factor this one, so I go straight to power rangers. My middle term is 11. That's my sum. My product now is 3 times 6. That's what? 18. Hands if you got up to right there by yourself. Good. Don't forget about multiplying the first leading coefficient times the last. Factors of 18 are 1 times 18, 2 times 9, and 3 times 6. Which of those adds up to 11? 3, 2 and 9. 2 times 9, 18, 2 plus 9 is 11. Are we there? What do we do from there? First term is 6x squared. What goes here next? Plus 2x plus 9x. That's where we get it from here. Last term is plus 3. Now we start grouping. Let's see. Open parentheses. GCF is x. We're left with, 2x, right? My bad. 2x. I was testing you guys. Let's see. 6x squared divided by 2x is 3x plus 1. Okay, so far so good? Plus, GCF here is 3, and we're left with 3x plus 1. GCF again there is 3x plus 1. That goes here. 3x plus 1. And what's left? 2x plus 3, and those are my factors. Hands if you got that by yourself. Bam. Spirit fingers on 3. 1, 2, 3. And I think we have time for one more. Here we go. Yay! Example, yes. Copy this next one. Example 9. 3x squared minus 16x plus 16. See if you can do that one by yourself, the whole thing. While you finish, homework is found on page 509, numbers 1 through 69, every other odd. So, that's your homework for the weekend. Have a good one. Enjoy the homework. See you guys till Monday.